Hey there guys, gals, and non-binary pals, GM Potter here. Welcome to my channel where I review books and bookish things, and it is the spooky books of October. If you didn't catch it, my first video of the month was on The Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker and going into the book and the movie with no restraint on spoilers. So today I thought we would talk about zombies in literature, and more importantly, my favorite zombie books. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so zombies have been in fiction for a long time. The reanimated corpse, the supernaturally brought back from the dead, there's so many kinds of zombies. You have your virus zombies, you have your reanimation through supernatural forces, you have your reanimation through science, that which is different from your Frankenstein ones, because Frankenstein had his own separate thing. He wasn't under someone's control. He wasn't a true zombie, I feel. But you have your different ways of reanimation. That you have one of my favorite zombie movies is Night of the Comet, where there's this comet that passes by Earth, and everybody who's not sheltered by steel is turned into a zombie, and it's a slow decay. For the people who are only partially exposed, but the comet particles turn people into zombies, like full-on flesh-eating zombies. It is so good. It's got the principal from Rock and Roll High School, it's got the actor who played Chakotay, it's got the girl from Chopping Mall, and the principal from Rock and Roll High School was also in Chopping Mall, so there's a little bit of a crossover there. It's a schlocky 80s horror movie. It's very solidly on the C-list, but it is so good. So there's a lot of media to consume when it comes to zombies. That when books do zombies, you have, say, Pride and Prejudice and zombies, which it might surprise any of you who know how much I love Jane Austen. I did not enjoy that book at all. I very much didn't like it. You also have your more romancy zombie books like Warm Bodies, which I'll be talking about a little bit later. That's number 3 on this list, so we'll be starting with that one. You also have your gory zombie books, which we will definitely be talking about. That there's a lot to be said in the medium, and there's so many ways and places and things that you can do with it. There's so many places you can go with the zombie medium, that my 3 favorite zombie books are very different. They all came out, I'm looking at my notes, they all came out about the same time, within 4 years of each other, which is odd. Maybe it was just a good time for zombie books. Well, we'll start off with number 3, which is Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. Now, I did review this one for my channel, I believe last October, and it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling, except they both get to live at the end. Sorry, spoilers. They both get to live at the end, and you're mostly in R's head, if I'm remembering the book correctly, which I believe I am. You're in R's head, and all the things that his sparks, and he can be in someone else's brain and get their memories by eating a part of their brain. And he kills Julie's boyfriend, well, would-be boyfriend if she, they're not together, but he kills him and is eating his brain and learning about Julia through her ex's eyes. And it's really good storytelling. That it's more of the cure for zombieism is more about reclaiming your humanity, and the book itself is what it means to be human in a lot of ways. That it feels like the zombies in that book are more of an allegory for consumerism and social media driven lives. That it came out in 2010, so definitely as the rise of the iPhone and the iPad and the social media coming about, that it's kind of a cautionary tale almost. Very good. Honestly, Warm Bodies was so good. I very much enjoyed it. I will be reading it again. So yeah, that's Warm Bodies. It's sweet and almost wholesome in a way, and the movie does a good job. The movie makes it more literal what makes us human, and less, like, there's a couple throwaway lines here and there about losing our humanity to technology, but it's a zombie movie. It's a zombie romance movie. It's a teen movie. So it's not quite as deep as the book. The movies seldom are. Coming in at number 2, we have The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey, which came out in 2014. Now, this book is graphic, to say the least. From the language used, to the description of gore, to the description of other characters, to the everything. This book is not for children, unlike our last book, which was kind of a YA young adult kind of a book. This book is fully for a mature audience. That being said, this one also had a movie that came out. The movie was very good. I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. The book just had a greater impact. Like, the ending to the movie is sad, yes, but the ending to the book just feels bleak in kind of a They Live kind of a bleakness. Like, not the same ending as They Live, but on a scale of, like, wholesome to bleak, it's up there with They Live, if you catch my meaning. Essentially, it's in the UK, where it takes place in the UK after a zombie phenomenon has happened, and they're doing experiments on child zombies, like children zombies, and these are very special children zombies because they don't have so much of the bloodlust. Like, until they're around blood, like until they smell flesh, like living flesh, they act like normal children. Really, really smart, genius level, but normal children. And they're being taken one by one to be experimented on, and our main character falls in love with one of the zombie children, who are called friggin' abortions, which, great, like, it makes sense for the writing and for the characters to say that. It makes sense in the context of the book, but I did not enjoy that, and it felt like being slapped every time I read it on the page, which is how our main character feels. Like, she's fallen in love with these children. She's their teacher, she's their mentor, she's their guide. That's what she's supposed to do, and she's watching them being carried off one by one for experimentation. When the shit hits the fan, she escapes with Melanie, who is the girl with all the gifts, and they have to navigate their way through London, and it's when the action starts up, like, it's a very slow start, but when the action starts up, it's one of those books that just grabs you around the throat and, like, just kind of shakes you. Girl with All the Gifts is a 5 of 5 stars book. This one came out in 2014, so again, in that same kind of time. So, number 1, the best zombie book that I've read, I would say, is My Life as a White Trash Zombie by Diana Rowland. This one came out in 2011. I've got it on Audible. It's part of a series, and it feels like it was the iZombie show, kind of feels like a ripoff of this. I think it was based on, like, a comic book or another book, but there's so many parallels to My Life as a White Trash Zombie that it feels stolen. I don't know which one came first, but My Life as a White Trash Zombie is better. So maybe it's a Marvel DC thing where DC technically had the idea first, but Marvel just did it better. So anyway, My Life as a White Trash Zombie. Our character wakes up one day as a zombie, and she's trying to navigate her regular life as a zombie. And she works as a morgue tech, and so she has access to brains. She can eat them. And someone else that she doesn't know who they are knows she's a zombie. And they're, like, giving her gifts of brains and giving her, like, things to, like, help her fit in. And she's, like, doing spray tans and, like, putting on makeup every day so that she doesn't have that gray pallor going to her skin, that dead look. Like, it's really good. It's very funny. It's a dramedy. It's a drama novel and a comedy slapped together in the best possible way. That it's so funny. Like, listening to the audiobook, I was laughing out loud in many places, and at the same time there's an element of suspense because there's someone who knows her secret and she is trying to keep it a secret, and when we find out who that person is, it's like the rug gets pulled out from under you, and it's just really good. It's really well written. It's one that I return to with some regularity, and yeah, Diana Rowland is a masterful author of the zombie genre, I feel. So, do you have any favorite zombie books? Any favorite zombie movies? Do you even like zombies? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and stay spooky. Bye!